This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. It's 113.23, and this is show 455. Well, earnings season is upon us, Nick.
Yes, we have earnings season kicking off today with JP Morgan, Citigroup, Bank of America, Wells Fargo. So big earnings coming out of, I should say big reports. Not so great earnings. I don't ever really look at them that closely, but I will say this, Kerry, the bank stocks this morning gapped lower before the opening bell, especially JP Morgan. This traded, I believe, down below 135 earlier today. Now it's back above 140. So the bank stocks are holding up, and that's kind of all you need to see. If the banks can hold up, that's usually a good sign for a continued market rally. And everyone should continue to watch this sector very closely. Have they been a good leading indicator for us? And so far, what I see, there's really no harm done today with the bank earnings.
Okay. Hey, one question. I was reading a YouTube comment. I'll look for it, but they had a question about Nat Gas. It's retraced a lot of its gains from before. What's your take on Nat Gas here, Nick?
Yes. So Nat Gas has retraced about three quarters, 75% of what it had from the June 2020 low to the recent peak that was made in August of 2022. So that has basically come in pretty sharply. There could still be some more carryover downside in Nat Gas. I would not rule that out. But I don't think it's that far off of the bottom. I do think there's a bottom forming in Nat Gas a little bit lower from here, but I would still say it's probably sub $3.
Yeah, Jay Baby, whoever that might be, asked that question. Hey, so gold, and we got a question here on that as well, but let's talk about that. It's broken 1900 with authority, and the dollar keeps going down, and you think there's a surprise in store.
Yeah, I mean, gold is my upside target for gold, as you know, was 1875 to 1880. We're now at 19,190. I mean, gold is on fire here. A dollar keeps going lower, but the dollar now is getting to oversold levels. There's lots of support here for the dollar. I'm actually going to be bullish the dollar very, very soon. And I think if the dollar starts to make a move higher, that would be a negative for gold. Now, that may not happen for, tomorrow, but that's probably in the cards over the next few weeks. So I would keep a close eye on that. But when the dollar makes a turn, that could hurt gold a bit. Gold is overbought right now. I will be the first to say it's been a tremendous move for gold, especially since, considering gold really made its move in November. You've gone from basically 1600 to 16,200, 1620 all the way to 1920. I mean, it's just been a tremendous move for gold. But, everybody now is starting to love it. Everybody is waking up to it. When everybody's looking at the same thing, Kerry, you know what I'm thinking. I got to look the other way.
Correct. Hey, so here, Rob B has this. We are in a T1 pattern for gold. I don't know what that means. If you are waiting for a pullback, you may miss a big chunk of the grander move this month. What is 1875 based on? Anyway, we have a golden cross in gold and a death cross in Dixie as of Friday. And when did this one come? This was 1923. So 4 days ago, Nick.
Yeah, so very easy to answer that. If you just look at the move in gold, 1875 was my upside objective. Now, not a lot of people were even thinking it was going to do that. So, gold and all commodities in general have a tendency to overshoot resistance points. Now, if you're using technicals, you're just going to go back and look at basically April of this year, predominantly late April. And then if you go back a little bit further towards the middle part of April, that's when gold was putting in a topping process around 2000 before it came all the way down to the 1600 area. So again, you're going up into that area. Now, all the people that were stuck back in March, April with gold that were buyers up there. Remember, you had a huge topping tail on a weekly chart in March, right around the first week. Those buyers now are back to break even. What do? They usually sell because they've been in a lot of pain all the way from 2000 down to 1600. So they get their money back. They're usually sellers at that point in time. But I know, there's death crosses and all of that stuff. And, the 50 moving average crossing over the 200, all valid points. And the trend is up. So, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it can go higher. But I'll be the first to say nothing goes up in a straight line. And when everybody's jumping on board, that's usually when the rug gets pulled out from underneath.
All right. And Precious Trading says, I was looking for the same levels for gold and GDX. Always love hearing Nick's take. Thanks. So somebody out there agrees with you. Of course, Brian says gold is a scam, and we agree until the day comes when it's not a scam, and that day is definitely getting closer here, Nick.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, gold has been around from the beginning of the Bible. So, it's been the currency. Remember, the way God made it is that you can't print it. Nobody's been able to recreate it in a lab. The alchemists have tried.
Salt water, that's where they're going to find it. There's 1 trillion parts per gallon of salt water, right?
Well, whatever the composition is, it is. But I've yet to find anybody that can make it in a laboratory. So unlike diamonds, unlike other things, gold cannot be reproduced by man. And it's always been the currency of choice, really, if you think about it. Now, there's nothing wrong with having, some paper connected to gold. But, now we're fiat. And if you just look at the history of fiat, I don't think there's a fiat system ever that lasted much longer than 50 years in recorded history. So, we're about 50 years removed from the gold standard now.
Hey, it's without all the computers, the derivatives, and everything else, this thing would have collapsed a long time ago. Hey, we got a question from Dan W. Ask if Meta has bottomed or has more downside to go. That's Facebook for you guys out there.
Yeah, sure. I think Meta has put in a bottom for now. So I would give it the upside bias because the market's still in rally mode. We should have more upside to come. So I'd say, Meta probably can go into the low 140s. I'm not sure it's going to go much past that right now, but the chart's holding up pretty well. And, you've had a good rebound from the $90 low that was made in November.
Here, this guy, Stone 881 said, anyone could have made that Tesla call, but you know what? Not anybody did. Nick made it.
I get that stuff a lot, Kerry. Over the years, you got to remember, people should go back and listen to my YouTube interview with a guy named Alex Ansary. This was in August of 2007, and I was telling him how the market was going to top out very shortly, most likely in October. And, I named almost every stock that would crash and all the financials like Countrywide. So I've been around the block a little bit. I've done this for a little while. I don't know what to say to people sometimes, when they just get caught up in the TV hype. I'm not one of those TV hype guys. They'll never have me on there. Just take it for what it is. I use charts. I'm never perfect. I'll be wrong from time to time, but I bet, probably a little over 80%. There's not many people that can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good. And let's not forget our call about Bitcoin. Hey, Mike L., we will hit December highs by January 23rd, and then a panic sell-off. That's what my crystal ball is predicting.
Well, it's always tough to say, but what I'm looking for a January rally here. It's what I told my members over the Christmas holiday, Christmas to New Year's. I said, let's look for a January pop. We normally see something like that. January is always a very, very tough month. And then as we get into the latter part of the month, we'll go into a more cautious stance and we'll see how it plays out. I never really love to predict anything. I'd rather just interpret it on the charts. But that's kind of how I'm seeing things right now. So, we'll see where we go from here. But, enjoy this rally while it lasts.
Yeah. I couldn't agree with you more. All rallies end with a bust, right? All booms end with a bust. All busts ends with a boom. And it never happens the way you expect it, right?
That's right. It's always a roller coaster ride with lots of twists and turns. And, we just got to take our time and cipher through it and try to figure it out. It's never easy. This is a humbling business. I'll be the first to admit it. I try to tell everybody, keep a humble heart when you do this, when you're in this business. You have to be, somewhat aware that you can be wrong from time to time. And again, use a chart, stack the odds. And if you're wrong, you get out and take that small loss and move on.
Yeah, that's it, really. Hey, so we didn't talk about silver, but silver is like on fire as well today, and it's broken that $24 level yet again.
Yeah, silver just doesn't quit right now. And if you look at the pattern that silver is making now, really since the first week of December, it's just gone sideways, and it just seems resilient. I love silver longer term, Kerry. I was in this thing right at the dead bottom on September 1st. And it's just not giving it up. I am not in it currently. I'm waiting for a pullback, but that's just, how I trade. I trade up to these levels. When they hit these numbers, I just wait, and I'm still looking for more of a pullback, but doesn't want to give it to me right now. So silver is still a powerhouse, but I still have to sit back and wait for an opportunity.
All right. We're not going to bother with the kleptocurrencies. That's it for today. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com. See how he keeps beating the averages year after year. Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago 01, at Kerry Lutz. Email KL@KerryLutz.com. And make sure you put your comments up on the YouTube channel. As you see, we will get to them and address them. And to all you out there who wished us a happy, healthy 2023, we wish you the same. And Nick, we'll talk to you on Monday.
Sounds good, Kerry. Thank you.